get somebody? Go ahead, whack it.
I'm going to call the village board meeting to order. I'll call the roll. Trustee Gust.
Here.
Trustee Jensen.
Right here.
Trustee Miller. Here. Trustee Addison.
Here.
Trustee Siddick.
Here.
Trustee Wells. Here. Attorney Frollo.
Here.
Mayor Hucker is absent and Clerk McDonald is present. Okay, now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You need a motion?
Yes,
Motion
we need
to
a
appoint.
motion to
Can I make a motion to appoint Trustee Miller to be the
President Pro
official
Tem.
mayor
Pro
this
Tem
evening?
Mayor.
I will second that motion.
Second. Okay, roll call. Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells. Okay.
You get raised in it. She voted for herself. Is that legal?
She believes in herself. That's okay.
That's good.
Still a quorum. You got 5 others.
Okay, first item on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes, and you have before you the minutes from the Village Board regular meeting of January 23rd, 2020. You have a motion to approve.
Move.
Tim, I would like to offer, I'll
for
second,
it.
I'll second, I'm too slow. I'll second his
A
motion.
motion by trustee Gus, second by trustee Jensen. And roll call, please.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Abstain.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
And Trustee Gust.
Aye.
And the motion carries. Next item is the approval of the warrant list. Bills presented for payment in the amount of $247,475.17. Do we have a motion? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I will offer
Motion
it.
by trustee Jensen.
Second.
Second by trustee Siddick. Roll call, please.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
All right.
The motion carries. Next item is special business. Do we have any special business? No, nothing? Okay, and then we're on to the first portion of our agenda that allows for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come to the podium, state your name and address, and if not, there will be another opportunity later. No? Okay, so then we will move on to the mayor's report. Any report on behalf of the mayor? No.
He's probably watching online,
No, you can't watch it.
Sure he has
No,
nothing
he's
better
not.
to do.
so we can't give him any messages.
Okay, then we'll move to trustee reports. Trustee Gust.
Thank you, Your Honor. The only thing I have is just our luncheon's coming up. We're the Luck of the Irish already on Tuesday, March 17th at 12 o'clock. And this year, we're going to have it at Thunder Hawk Golf Course. We're going to have the same band we had last year, and it's $20 in advance for the tickets. So make sure everybody goes out and gets them, because we'd like to have a full house,
What time does it start?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. Okay,
And that ends my report.
thank you. And trustee Jensen.
Thank you. I have a couple of items. The next Finance Committee, at which time you'll have an opportunity to get all the details of that warrant list that we just approved, if you're interested, will be February 19th at 6 p.m. upstairs. The seating is limited, so please arrive early. A couple other items. I've recently learned that on the upcoming March 17th ballot, the Beach Park Grade School District 3 has a referendum before the voters, and I encourage everyone to inform themselves. I went to a meeting a week ago. There are 2 more public information meetings that are sponsored by advocates, just know that up front, on Tuesday the 18th at 6 p.m. here, Village Hall, and Saturday the 14th noon at Beach Park Middle School. They're asking for $23 million. It's basically, there's a bond that's about to be paid off, and they're looking to borrow $23 million, which will, the net cost will be lower per taxpayer. It'd be much lower, of course, if they don't get the $23 million. But they have a number of maintenance items that have been deferred, apparently. So that's the reason they're asking for it. Also, I had an opportunity to attend the Congressman on Your Corner event last Saturday at Winthrop Harbor Village Hall, and Congressman Snyder was there. It was interesting. I was probably the youngest person in the audience. Unfortunately, our younger generations apparently aren't that interested in politics. But he addressed the nuclear waste issue in Zion, and the efforts at the federal level to provide some relief to the communities that are impacted by the stranded nuclear waste until someday that thing at Yucca Mountain gets opened up. There was a lot of discussion on the impeachment and bipartisanship, ethylene oxide, and I had a chance to discuss with one of his aides our situation with the FEMA application, and he's going to look into that. The local match is a big bite, so he's going to look into whether or not there's anything being done about the matching requirement. I'm not holding out any hope, but worth asking.
It's worth asking.
And that concludes my report.
Did he say, is he a sponsor or a co-sponsor of that nuclear waste bill?
I don't know for sure. I know he's an advocate. He may be a sponsor. I'm not sure.
Did
There
he-
should be a meeting coming up pretty soon on that
With,
the nuclear plant.
oh, good, yeah. I'd like to
Yeah,
know.
so I plan on bringing the representatives in after we have this meeting to give the whole village an update.
Okay, very good.
And that concludes my
That's
report.
it, all right, thank you. And then I have just a reminder, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so for all you last-minute shoppers that want
I
to
got
go.
my card tonight.
So where's one right there? I was provided with some data about Valentine valuables. This is on behalf, put out by the Census Bureau, apparently, that annually, people spend over $16 billion on chocolate, $10 billion on non-chocolate, and $6 billion on jewelry and silverware.
Well, a stinking little card costs $10.
Yeah, yeah, so Valentine's Day is clearly getting a little more expensive, but that's all I have. Thank you.
At work today, we all got out our scissors and crayons and made cards.
The good old days.
I enjoyed that, and it's much cheaper than
Well, with that,
I call
Trustee
it a
Otterson, you're up.
Hallmarko card is what I call it. Just one item to report tonight. We can pretend that it didn't snow for the last couple days because these numbers that I have do not include the last couple days worth of plowing activities. But up and through the end of January, we have used 388 tons of salt, and we have paid 347 staff hours for snow plowing. So in case anybody was wondering, if it's a trivia question at a family game night, that was the end of January that those numbers were valid. So, that was all.
All right, thank you. Trustee Siddick.
Thank you. Just a reminder that the health department is hosting the vaccination clinic again coming up March 28th, 9 to noon, cash only. Dogs must be leashed, kitty cats must be crated. Please pick up after your kids. That is cash only. I believe it was $25 for the rabies vaccine. Very affordable way for everyone to keep their kids in compliance. Affordable compared to the new stickers on your license plates.
Good point.
Is that at Public Works?
Public Works facility, yes.
And the parking is,
Parking, overflow parking will be up the road. Well, at the Public Works facility is limited, but there'll be overflow at the Zion Public Works.
oh, there still will, that's good.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Trustee Wells.
Thank you. Just a reminder that the Village Hall will be closed on Monday, February 17th, in observation of President's Day. Village will reopen on Tuesday, February the 18th at 8 o'clock a.m. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the village administrator's report, and we do have an item there. Who would like to present that to us?
Lisa's gonna
Lisa?
address that issue.
Okay.
Hello, so what's in front of you is we're hoping for a approval from the board, a motion and approval from the board to allow us to extend the time for for banners to be out, for temporary signs to be out. These are the census banners that we are ordering as part of our grant, and we are going to put them on each of the entryways each of the 6 entryways and one at Founder's Park to promote the census events that'll be coming up, and so we'd like to have them up. They'll probably be up, we had to wait till we went through the Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee, so now that that's done, they'll probably come up about the end of February, beginning of March, and they'll be up until June, the first weekend in June, which is a little longer than our typical code, so we wanted to make sure that the board was comfortable with that little alteration. And if I can answer any questions, I'm happy to do so.
Okay, and was this a unanimous
Yes.
support?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay, well, we need a motion on this?
Yeah, I think we were asked for a motion
Okay.
to authorize the
Okay,
extension
do
for
we
the
have-
temporary sign.
Okay, I'll second that
right,
motion once
sure.
again.
Motion by trustee Gus, second by trustee Jensen. Anybody have questions?
No, I like the way that we went about sending it to planning and zoning, so there was an opportunity for public comment if they were interested, and there was no public comment, but at least it was made available. There was a question, yes, but not really a speaking for or against, but that's a good, because, with the ordinance allows for temporary signs for, a certain amount of time, and I don't like the fact that if we were to violate that without asking or giving people an opportunity for input, so I'm glad that we went through the process the way we did.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye. Motion carries.
Madam Mayor, if I could I just make one comment,
Oh,
please?
absolutely.
I just wanted to, recognize Lisa. She's, as you all probably know, she's resigning from the village to move on to bigger, better things, and this is her last board meeting, so I just wanted to make sure we publicly recognize her, at least, for me, it hasn't been a long time, but I appreciate her help in the transition, and she will be missed, but I wanted to wish her good luck in her future position, so.
Yeah, Lisa has taken a position with the Village of Park Ridge, I believe. Is that right? Yes, so this is her last board meeting, and a week from tomorrow is her last day, so time will go by quickly. And how much time have you had here, Lisa?
2 years.
2 years, just 2 years.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity. You guys are a great board to work for. And this has been a wonderful place. I'm going to miss the people so much. But the city's a little bit bigger, and don't like Jerry here, but I kind of miss the firefighters.
You like that?
So just for clarification, you did say she was moving on to bigger and better
Yeah, I
things,
didn't
but
I caught
can
that
tell you
too.
that she said definitely bigger, but not necessarily
Not
better.
necessarily better.
Jury's out on that one, so you'll have to get back. You're always welcome to come back and give a report after.
Well, thank you, Lisa, very much, and you will be missed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Lisa has just done a lion's share of work on this census committee and the census project, and thanks to Lisa's efforts, I think Beach Park has now got some very solid relationships formed with not only other communities, but a lot of the nonprofits, a lot of the, the religious groups. People that have never been here before have come together and, gotten to know each other and worked towards a common goal. So Lisa's been the driver on that, so we really appreciate that effort.
You'll keep that going.
Yeah, I hope we will keep that going. So, okay, the next item is the consent agenda. I do not believe we have a consent agenda tonight. So, that takes us to item number 10, ordinances and resolutions. And the first one, item A, is trustee Wells.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have your consideration an ordinance creating Article 14 of the Village of Beach Park zoning ordinance regarding the prohibition of recreational cannabis business establishments. As you remember, on December the 12th of 2019, the Village of Beach Park adopted an ordinance prohibiting cannabis business establishments in the Village of Beach Park, which ordinance added Chapter 5.36 to Title 5 of the Beach Park Village Code. This ordinance prohibits recreational cannabis businesses from locating and operating within the Village of Beach Park. As a result of that, the village president and the Board of Trustees have requested that the Village Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals consider and hold a public hearing on amendments to the Village of Beach Park zoning ordinance regarding prohibiting recreational cannabis business establishment from operating in the village that are consistent with Chapter 5.36 of the Village Code, which prohibits cannabis business established within the village. This went before the Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals on February the 6th and was unanimously recommended for approval. And I'd like to entertain it in the form of a motion.
Okay, we have a motion from trustee Wells, a second from trustee Otterson. Now is the time for any questions or discussion.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we need to do this on top of the ordinance we already passed. That seemed to be pretty definitive.
Well, there were some text amendments that had to be made to reflect the new ordinance. I believe that's what
Well,
this cleaned up.
this is zoning change.
Yeah, the reason for this, trustee, is to, when a petitioner comes to town, the first place they look is your zoning code. This is a companion ordinance to the ordinance you passed in December. This makes it very clear. It really just tracks the ordinance
Well,
we
it's
passed.
almost word for word. Yeah,
Right,
that's why I was
so
wondering.
it's two places. It will allow a property owner petitioner that turns to the zoning code to clearly learn, quickly learn that cannabis business establishments, all categories, are prohibited. It's for the sake of being complete within your zoning code. That was why it was done.
Yeah, I get, I mean, I read it, but it just seems like it's redundant. If we've already prohibited it, I'd have no problem with doing it. I mean, except for the cost of publishing. Thank you.
Okay, no other questions, we'll call the roll, please.
Trustee Siddick,
Aye.
trustee Wells,
Aye.
trustee Gust,
Aye.
trustee Jensen,
All right.
trustee Miller,
Trustee Miller, aye.
trustee Otterson.
Aye.
And this is, motion carries ordinance number 4. Okay. Now we move on to item B, and this is again trustee Wells.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, we have an ordinance approving the petition. An ordinance for your approving the petition of Casey's Retail Company, modifications to the plan development, including site plan, increased green space on the east side, moving the building west, landscape buffer on the north property line and sides of the island canopy, and reducing the number of dispensary islands at the property located at 9932, 9965, 9966, and 9988 West Paxton Drive. And this modification was again to move the proposed building approximately 24 feet to the west, closer to Sheridan Road, and a reduction in the landscape buffer along Walters Road by 10 feet. And on Sheridan Road, the buffer will be 15 feet. And the changes to the landscape buffer reduction were due in part the requirements of the infrastructure and relocation of entrances and exits that were required by IDOT, moving the building further to the west away from the residential area, which provide for some relocation of underground utilities. And again, there was a hearing by the Planning Commission. They unanimously approved the ordinance. There were residents present for that hearing. They seemed to appreciate the additional buffer by the moving the building to the west, so they had expressed their approval and their satisfaction with that move. And there was a couple of inconsistent numbers that were noted on page 45 and page 53. We just make sure those numbers are corrected. I'd like to entertain this in the form of a motion.
All right, we have a motion from trustee Wells. Do we have a second?
So moved.
Second from trustee Gust. Any questions or discussion on this one?
Of course I do. A couple of questions. I see we had another hearing on this. Were there any neighbors testifying at that hearing? Okay. So obviously there were no objections from the neighbors.
There were neighbors present, and nobody testified.
And are there any impacts on neighbors? It sounds like it's moving.
The building's moving 24 feet to the west.
That's it. It's not moving north or south. They're just shrinking the landscaping on the north a little bit, as well as
The buffer on the north is shrinking to a little over 10.5 feet, and then landscape buffer on the east side is increasing by 24 feet. The canopy size is being reduced in scope, and the number of islands are being reduced. And the petitioner here to answer any questions also.
I was just, and just out of curiosity, what was the driving force for this movement, this adjustment? all this-
Yeah, please come to the podium. And tell
My
us.
name's Patrick Moon, Farnsworth Group, I'm here on behalf of Casey's Retail Company. Basically, the driving force is over the last year, I've been trying to get IDOT approvals, they've been doing some market studies, and it basically found that the original configuration of a dual stack canopy is, not only is it more expensive to build, but it's also been less profitable. Because what they found is that people are parking in that front row, they don't see that the back fuel station's open, so they tend to drive by. With the new layout, all the fueling stations are visible from the main road. So they're finding, they're getting the same number of traffic that they would have expected on the dual canopy, on the single canopy. So they're just getting a little bit more traffic, the traffic they would have normally expected coming there. It's a little more profitable. But again, it did provide the added benefit of being able to move the store forward, provide a much wider green space over here with landscaping and buffering from the adjacent residences.
Have you made provisions for the pending requirement for full service there? You heard about that, I presume.
I did.
I wouldn't worry about it.
No, Casey hadn't said anything to me about that. I heard that on the news, and I was like, well, I guess it would just be one or two more full-time staff on the store. So. But, yeah.
Okay.
And I see you reduced the islands from 8 to 6. Was that a
Yes.
major undertaking for the project, or?
More on the design side
Uh-huh.
than anything else. We're keeping the entrances in the same location. It took us so long to get DOT approval. We're not changing any of that. Everything is inside the property, all the changes. We're currently working on those right now, and I've got draft plans to take a look at tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get these back to Jerry in a couple of weeks to get this thing moving.
Okay,
We're all anxious to
Yeah.
see you start digging over there.
we are.
I'm anxious to get this thing off my plate.
Any more questions?
Well, I'll
Rob?
say that not everybody is anxious about seeing the digging start, but I do appreciate the fact that you were willing to go through the motions. It wasn't a major change, but the village staff thought that it was important to at least give the neighbors a chance to come and see what changes are being proposed under this. There was quite a bit of gnashing of teeth and mumbling about, what are they doing to us? They're changing everything. Well, no, they really aren't.
Well,
It's-
Casey didn't really want to have to come back. They thought they had, everything was smaller, shouldn't be a big deal, but they understood.
Right.
The village thought it was important to put it in front of, the community. Casey always wants to be a good neighbor, have been for years.
Yeah.
The entire time I've worked with him for the last 10 years. So they just want to make sure everybody's happy and understand what's going on. They don't want to have anybody be surprised and have problems later.
I did hear on the Channel 9 News this morning, they were talking about favorite foods, and Casey's Taco Pizza actually was mentioned as one of the newscasters' favorite foods. So, I mean,
The breakfast pizza,
they can't be all bad. Anyway, so thank you.
yeah, no problem.
I see there's something in our notes about the permitting with IDOT, and that's still in process. How's that coming along?
Actually, we're just waiting for the paperwork to get signed. I finally got all the paperwork back from Casey's, or not from Casey's, from IDOT, I think 2.5 weeks ago, and I forwarded on to Casey's for them to get signatures. We were originally told we had to have the contractor sign it, but I talked to them, and they're gonna allow Casey's to sign it, post their own bond instead of the contractors, and once the contractor is selected, they'll swap the bonds out. So we're in the process of getting that taken care of right now.
Okay.
The only other issue that's outstanding that I am aware of, well, there's two, trying to wait for Lake County to finish their drainage review, which I'm gonna talk to Jerry about tomorrow. And then, IDNR, there's some negotiation about some sign that they want changed out, that it's out of my hands. I just know that it's out there. Those are the other two items, other than DOT paperwork getting signed.
And that's the only ones to check off the list at this point that you're aware of. Okay, that's real good.
And what's your projected timeline for the project?
Typically, if we get them approved this time, they'll want to start sometime in the spring, late spring, early summer. But again, until we get the IDNR stuff squared away, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. It's kind of holding things up because we have to get access off of their roadway. So until we get the sign taken care of, they're not going to allow the access to take place.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have a motion and a second on the floor. Yes, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, and this is ordinance number 5. Okay, and,
That concludes my report.
now item C, and this is a resolution from Trustee Otterson.
Thank you, Your Honor Pro Tem. This is just like a housekeeping type thing. It's a requirement through the state for our upcoming season's MFT road reconstruction project. The resolution is appropriating $510,000 of motor fuel tax money to be spent on streets. That is not the total amount we're going to spend. We have funds that we're also set spending on this, but that's the amount of the MFT money. So the IDOT requires a resolution with board support that that amount of MFT money is going to be spent on this upcoming project. That's why it's not an ordinance, it's just a resolution saying that we support it. So I'll put that in the form of a motion to approve a resolution appropriating $510,000 of MFT funds for the 2020 road improvement project.
Okay,
Second that.
motion by Trustee Otterson, second by Trustee Jensen. Any questions? Okay, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen. Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
The motion carries. This is resolution number 6.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're on to new business. Do we have any new business? Nope, new business. And the second call for anyone who wishes to address the board. Oh, do. State your name and address.
I know it's not on because I can barely hear you in the audience.
Oh,
That's why
really?
I wanted to mention.
Well, the light is on.
All these lights are on, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's not going through the-
Yeah, we're in the process of replacing the whole system. Well, in the process of purchasing the equipment to replace the system, so it's,
Since not all of us are through the hearing anymore.
yeah, so the microphones are recording,
Yeah.
but not necessarily projecting to the speakers, so.
Oh, that's all you wanted to tell us?
Well, he was gonna sing, but without the microphone.
I don't have any.
Oh, you weren't gonna sing? Yeah, I've never been told I needed a microphone.
Okay, we have no executive session tonight, and so, one more item, and that's the adjournment.
For a motion to adjourn, Madam
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for adjournment.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. There.
I heard that.
Man, with authority.